Second. There we go. We are streaming, and I'm going to start the Amazon side of this as well. And as soon as they've got the stream data, which they now have, we can get the ball rolling here. I have a limited time window today, everybody. So I've got calls all afternoon after this. I had a call this morning. I've got more this afternoon. So it's going to be a little short today, but we're going to get as much as we can get done now, and I think I'll probably come back to this as a second live stream because this is one of those things that's got a lot of depth to it. So we're going to be looking at this quite a bit. And what we're going to be doing right now is we're going to unbox this today, and I'll get in like as far as I can get on setup during the live stream today, and then we'll come back to it. So that's the plan. So let me just get a couple more things set up here, and I'll get my recording going. And I've got if I get to it, we'll see how far we get. I've got a little area blocked off here so I can do some VR down here. So I got that. I got the Chromecast going so we can cast the headset to the Chromecast. So we have everything I think we need set up at the moment to get this ball rolling. So that is the scoop. And let me just turn on the vMix social here to grab your comments as they come in. If you're watching on Amazon, hello everybody. And again, we'll be going for about an hour and 20 minutes or so because I've got a call at 3:30. So there we go. All right, so let's take some questions here and then we'll unbox this sucker. And this will be a video that we'll put on the Extras channel. B Tabalba is here. Andy is here. We have Blackbird 22. We've got Max Stock. All the regulars are coming in. And Ed H here says, get her done. That's what we're going to do. We're going to get her done. So let me just shoot my intro for the Extras channel. So we'll have the unboxing. This unboxing will also go up on the Amazon product listing. And I've got quite a setup right now because I have two parts of the room configured. We're all NDI, so the wide shot here in the room is an NDI feed coming in over the network on the other side of the room. And then we have, I've got VLC running to the computer on the desk that's off camera, so I can actually control my computer here from over there. So we have all this going, and we're only using like 14% of my system's resources, so we've got plenty of room to go in. Ed H says it seems warmer here than in Michigan, and it is. It is like, it's beautiful. It's like 70 degrees outside. So I think for my 3:30 call, I might take the dog out for a walk and at least enjoy that while I'm on the call. Okay, yes, I'm able to do, usually this time of the year I'm in my sweaters, but today it's warm enough. I got the short sleeves, extended it. So there we go. All right, so let me shoot the intro for the unboxing, and then we'll tear this thing open, and we'll see what is inside. How about that? All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV, and I am a big fan of virtual reality, and I recently picked up the new Oculus Quest 2, which is the latest all-in-one headset from Oculus. In fact, this is their only headset now. They are replacing the Rift with this because this can work standalone as its own unit, or you can plug it into a PC and get this to work as a PC VR device. And I have the original Quest and love it. This one has a higher resolution and it will run at a higher frame rate, although at the time I'm recording this video, not a lot of the apps yet take advantage of the resolution or the frame rate just yet. That's coming down the line. So this will be something we'll be reviewing and then coming back to as these new features are added on. But I was really a big fan of the Quest 1, so I'm very eager to see what they've improved with this version. Now I should let you know, in the interest of full disclosure, that I paid for this with my own funds. All the opinions you're about to hear are my own. No one is paying for this unboxing, nor is anyone reviewing it or approving it before it gets uploaded. So let's get into the box here and see what is inside. I have yet to use this, actually, as you can see, because it's been wrapped up nice and tight. I got to figure out how to get the box here off of this. And I have a couple of games already on Oculus, and I've got a ton of them on the PC. And I've actually been using my Quest primarily as a PC headset when I'm doing these videos, because I just opened this box up upside down, because it's very convenient to just plug this into a laptop and have VR wherever you go. Now, I just messed up the entire setup here, so it will look much prettier if you open it up in the right way. So what we've got here are two controllers. These feel a little bit larger than the prior ones did, but they also feel sturdier too. It's a real improvement to the feel on these things. Very, very nice. So that's the controllers. The old ones were powered by batteries, and I think these are, yep, they're also powered by AA batteries. Oddly, the batteries are already installed, but they do have these little tabs to pull it out so they don't leak while in transit. And I use a lot of rechargeable batteries with my controllers, so you can just use some nickel metal hydride batteries or something instead if you want to do that. And we'll pull that out there and get that controller going. So there you go. And one of the cool things about the Quest, and they're still kind of working on this feature, and this is true with the Quest 1 or the Quest 2, is that you can use your hands now with this. It's got hand tracking. And this is the headset. It actually feels a little more, just in my hand here, a little more compact than the old one did maybe. It's certainly a different color. The old one was black and gray. This one is white. And I've got my other one nearby. Maybe I'll take it out and compare it in a second. So that's the headset component. Now there's a different head strap that you can get that's a little more premium than this one. And I might pick that one up to see if it's any better. I've always struggled with my VR headsets and getting everything adjusted properly. But this one looks like it might be a little bit easier to manage. So I'm going to get this adjusted, and then I'm going to put this on my head, and we'll see how this feels on my head, because the old one was a little front heavy. We'll see if this one has a similar feel to it. Okay, so we're going to stop the recording there, and I'm going to just add that clip to my list here. And so unboxing intro. And I just want to get the rest of the stuff here peeled off. All right, so we got that going. And Anonymous121 is watching on Amazon. Hello, hope you are well. And we've got some more folks on here. Andy G wants to know what the price is of this, and I have a link to this in the video description if you want to head over to Amazon. These are more reasonable. I think the entry price on this one is now $299. This is the lower capacity version, and again, I'm using this primarily as a PC headset, so I didn't need all that much onboard storage. So this one is $299, and I think the prior model, the entry model, was $399, so they've come down in price a bit. And this is what they call an inside-out headset, so it is tracking based on the cameras here that it's got on the front. And if you put this in a large area, like in a gymnasium or something, you can actually set a very large boundary area. So you have a lot of flexibility with things there. Mark Dell was going to take a lunch break and play with his Quest 2. How are you liking it so far? I've heard nothing but good things so far about this. Thomas Hendricks is deciding whether or not to get one. I'll tell you what, I really love the original Quest. I think it was one of my products of the year last year. I thought it was very complete, and once they added all the features in. The odd thing with this one is that if you have a Quest 1, you probably don't need to rush out and buy this one unless you want a different look and feel, because all of the new features I don't think are yet supported on this one yet. So that's that. Vincent wants VR for Stadia. Yeah, you know, the problem with VR is that you need very low latency. And if you can't get low latency, you get very disoriented. And I was at CES a year or two ago, and I was trying out like one company's plan for it was a streaming solution for the Quest, and it just didn't feel right. You know, like if there's just a little bit of lag, it's not going to work. Mark Dell's waiting for the premium strap. Yes, that's the more advanced strap, which I think people are saying you should get. And Mark Dell is really liking his. The resolution difference is jarring if you go back to the original, so that's interesting. So we'll have to see where that comes from. John Early just bought an Xbox 360, the slim version. I got one of those upstairs, actually. And Zam is sticking with the Rift S. Yeah, I think if the Rift S is working for you, you're going to be fine. If you don't need the all-in-one experience, then yeah, you know, this is not bad. I'm still getting some light bleed at the bottom here. And I think it's just my nose. My nose just sticks out too far. So, all right, so let me get my, I'm trying to look through the bottom of the nose here. I can tell you immediately it's more comfortable than the other one. It definitely feels more comfortable. All right, so I just want to make sure I got a good shot here. Okay. There we go. All right, and let me just get my record button here. 3, 2, 1. All right, so I figured I'd put it on my head here before I get into the setup, and it feels pretty good, actually. I think the strap is working better than the original. It feels like it's tighter on my head. It still has a little bit of weight in the front, obviously, and that's hard to avoid given that it's got a lot of hardware up here, including a battery to power it when you are disconnected. The padding on the visor here is much better than the original, so I'm not feeling as much stress on the parts of my face that I always feel with the other Quest, so it's definitely a lot more comfortable. I am getting some light bleed in here by my nose, so I might want to look at seeing if there's some accessories to block that out a bit, because that would lead to some God rays or something inside the headset once I get everything booted up. But overall, it is definitely an improvement in comfort over the previous edition. And what I'm going to do now is get this thing set up. I've got a lot of work to do a proper analysis of the product. There's, again, 2 different components to this. There's the standalone component, and then there is the PC Link component. And in my full review, I'm going to cover both of those things, and that will be coming up pretty shortly on the main channel, so stay tuned for that. Until next time, this is Lon.TV. Thanks for watching. All right. Actually, I didn't unbox the rest of it, did I? So let's go unbox the rest of it. Hang on. All right, so we'll figure out a way to work that into the mix there. All right. So let's go back to this spot here. And then I guess they want you to move the lenses physically for the best. Oh, I see. That's the IPDU adjustment. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's see what else is in the box here. We've got a little instruction guide to get you started. They do suggest that you move the lenses left or right to get the clearest view. And this would be the IPD adjustment that you would see on other headsets. And this looks pretty nice. It's nice firm click here in between positions. Looks like there's only 3 positions though. But the nice thing is it's not going to move around at all on you when you put the headset on. There's no switch that you could throw to adjust this inadvertently. So I'll have to play around with that and see what works best for my eyes there. This is a little extender spacer if you wear eyeglasses. So if you are someone who wears glasses, you'll want to install this to give you a little bit more buffer room between you and the lenses here. And then we've got a little box of goodies here. And let's see what's inside of the box of goodies. Another little startup guide here, a reference guide, and a safety manual. You can read that at your leisure. And here's some guides for adjusting the strap. And again, there is a premium strap that a lot of people seem to like, so that might be worth taking a look at. One of the key things that you've got to remember with this headset, and any headset really for that matter, is you want to avoid direct sunlight because these lenses will magnify whatever light that is coming in. So if you point it at the sun, you could burn out the display inside. So you want to be careful about that. A lot of people think that the fragile point are the cameras here for tracking, and that's not it. It's just the lenses that are the most susceptible to sunlight. So you want to keep those clear of that. You can use this outside, but I found in the past that the Quest doesn't track very well when there's a very bright environment out there, and I don't think the Quest 2 is doing any better at that. Also in the box here, we've got a USB Type-C charger. This looks like one of the rapid USB-C chargers. And then we've got a USB-C to USB-C cable for charging. This doesn't appear as long as the cable they included on the original Quest, so you probably still will want to buy a longer cable for connecting it up to your PC. This is very short. I think it's like just a couple of feet here, so you're not going to get very far from your PC with this. So you'll still want to go out and get an extra cable. Oculus, of course, has the premium cable called the Oculus Link cable. That's about $80 or so. So you might want to find some of the third-party cables out there instead. Okay. So let me just mark that, and then I think we can continue setting this thing up. All right. And a lot of people asking about cost. Go on the Amazon link. You can go right over to Amazon and see what it costs. It is $299 to start, and that's the 64 gigabyte version. I would recommend that one if you don't have a lot of games that you plan to run natively on it. So let's set that aside. And I'm not sure how much battery life this thing has on it when you get started, so we'll have to see what goes on here. All right, lots of questions and comments coming in, because how many people do we have on the stream? Only 88, but we're getting a lot of questions and comments. Hang on a second, maybe we got more than 88. Let's see, 92. Okay, so we got a good number. Anonymous wants to know, does it work well? I don't know. I haven't actually hooked it up yet, so we'll take a look at that and see what we've got. Let's see what else we got here for questions. Yeah, you do need to, so some questions about Facebook, and you do have to have a Facebook account for this. My other one, they gave me the option, but I think on this one you have to have the Facebook account. All right, so let me power it on here and see if we're going to get any juice going. There it goes. Let me see what I get. And as soon as I can, I will get this hooked up to the Chromecast so we can take a look and see what it's able to do. And I think I've got to boot the controllers up here. All right, so what I'm seeing right now is a video here of the controllers and what I'm supposed to do with them. Now, I'm going to tell you right away here that the field of view on this doesn't feel as wide as my original Quest. And it might be right now that they're displaying to me a white screen, so I think that might have something to do with it. And it says check clarity. Adjust the headset on your face until you can see the screen clearly. Yeah, so I'm seeing, and it's kind of a curve to it on the sides, on the right and left-hand side. But it looks pretty good. I would put this, and this is a higher resolution, I would put this so far on par with what my what I have upstairs. The HTC Vive Pro is what I have. All right, and then it says adjust the lens. I'm going to adjust the lenses a little bit here to see if there might be any difference. So I have it out at the middle point. Let's see on the closer point here. That's a little blurrier. So let me go out to the end. Yeah, I think the middle point is probably best for me. So what I'm doing right now is I'm adjusting the lenses here to get the best. Right there is, I think, the best. Again, there's only 3 positions. So for me, I think the middle is the better one, and I'm guessing that's going to be the case for many people. Now, one of the things that I have issues with is that, and I'm not seeing it right now as I'm moving my head around, when I had bought the Valve Index, which is the Steam one. All right, so it wants me to sit down right now. Again, I can't show you what I see just yet because I don't have an option to stream, but once I get this on my network, I should be able to show you some stuff. Yeah, so the display is definitely sharper. And I'm just getting connected to my Wi-Fi here. The display is definitely sharper, but I'm not pleased with the field of view so far. So I'm seeing very visible borders to the screen in my left and right peripheral vision. And I'm not sure if it's just how this display is rendering right now or if it's in fact just a weird field of view on this. Okay, so we're on Wi-Fi. And I'm guessing there's going to be an update. I will say the audio quality sounds good. The speakers are kind of embedded into the side. And the range of sound is a little better. It has more bass to it than I remember before. And I'm getting more safety instructions here. Only use it indoors. Don't feed it after midnight. It looks like I'm going to have to set up the boundary in a second as well. And we'll do that in a minute once we get through this. This video is playing and I can't stop it. And as soon as I'm able to, I will show you some more of what I'm seeing. And I also make sure so I'm just like wasn't showing you me. So again, I'm just, all right, your safety and okay, so I'll acknowledge that. All right, my headset is updating now, so it's downloading an update. This may take several minutes. And already I got some schmutz on the lens. I must have touched it. So let me get my little chamois cloth out there. And we'll let that update here for a second. Although I think when I take it off my head, it goes into standby mode. Let's take a look. Yeah, let it update here. And we'll just do a quick little cleansing of the lens. That should do better. Yeah, it's installing, downloading update 1 of 2. I can remove my headset. All right, so what I'm going to do is take the headset off and let it charge while we download the update here. And I can take some questions. Let's see what people say. Yeah, I got to say, there's a real elegance to Oculus's design. You know, I think VR has not become what people thought it would be when it first released in 2016, 4 years ago, or at least the current iteration of it. And I think as a result, like all of the more top-end VR hardware developers are probably at Oculus versus other places. So there's a lot of neat things happening here. And with the old one, let me get the old one out while we're waiting for this one to update so we can see the size comparison between the two. I can tell you already the comfort level is much better with the new one. So if you felt the first one wasn't comfortable, then that might be reason enough to just make the plunge already. And here is, see how much smaller it is? It's much smaller. I don't have the dimensions handy, so we can look at that later, but it is lighter, it's more comfortable. It's definitely an improvement, without question. All right. Prime wants to know, how often do I do these office hours? I do these quite frequently. Most of the time during the week, I'll come on 2 or 3 days a week and do that. Daniel on the Amazon chat is asking how much. If you look right down below on Amazon, we've got it up in the product carousel. And this starts at $2.99 and goes up from there, depending on how much storage you want on it. So let's see what else we got here from... Oh yeah, by the way, there's some discussion about Facebook accounts. So if your Facebook account gets suspended, then you can't use the headset, from what I gather, which I think is a problem. So that is, I believe that is an issue that people have encountered. And I think they recommended to people that they get their accounts in order or something like that. So, all right, the update 1 of 2 is getting pushed down. But I got to tell you, right out of the gate, this is very comfortable. And I was eager to get this because the resolution is increased. Let me get the resolution. I have a document I've been starting here on this. And I'm going to plug it back in also. So the resolution has improved tremendously. And I'll get you the exact breakdown here. And it can support 90 hertz, which the other one only did, I think, like 75. The problem, though, yeah, let me pull up my Quest 2 notes here. Yes, okay, so here's the resolution breakdown. 1832 by 1920 in each eye versus 1440 by 1600. So you're getting like an extra 300 lines of resolution, which makes a difference. You get less of a screen door effect with it. The refresh, but again, there's caveats to all this because the refresh rate and the resolution are not supported on every app. And my understanding right now is that unless you do some sideload trickery, you're not getting the 90 hertz at all. So, you know, there you go. So a lot of the features that, beyond the hardware changes, are not yet working. Snapdragon XR2 versus a Snapdragon 835 in the other ones. This one has a faster processor, and this chip is more suited for VR. And that's for the standalone function. RAM, 6 gigabytes of RAM on this versus 4 on the other one. And so that's going to give developers some more room to work with, right? Battery life, about the same, about 2 or 3 hours. So you're not going to get that much battery life. But if you're using a compatible cable on PC, the battery life's not an issue. If you're not using a compatible cable on PC, battery life becomes an issue. But to be honest, I can't spend more than an hour in one of these things before my eyes start going nuts, you know? So I usually switch out there. Field of view, it says, is the same, although maybe it's the fact that I'm noticing this weird curvature on the peripheral vision on the side. I think it just finished updating. We'll put it back on in a second. So that was something that I noticed. All right, IPD adjustments, as we just discovered, the old one had a range. So the range on the old one, and IPD again is the distance between the lenses. And if you have one of the iPhones or iPads with the Face ID, you can download an IPD app to get the exact measurement of your IPD. I think mine's like 68 or something, or 63 maybe. And the other one had a range of 58 to 72. There's a dial on the old one here, so you could just kind of, you know what I mean, there was no click point. You just set it, and that would move the lenses here, as you can see. So there was no set position. It was just where you left it. I did find, though, that I would often hit the thing by accident and move it. So this one has 3 fixed positions for the IPD, as we discovered. So for me, the middle seemed to be the best one. And those fixed positions are 58, 63, and 68. So you don't have anything in between. It's it's one of those 3. It is lighter, 503 grams versus 571 grams. The entry model on both this and the old one for storage is 64 gigabytes, although this is $100 less now than what the old one sold for with the same memory. The other version is 256 gigs of storage versus 128 on the old one. It does not have an SD card slot, so you are stuck with whatever storage you buy. So if you are going to be really into, you know, VR directly, you're going to be offloading and reloading a lot with the 64 gig version. Because I'd imagine these games are going to get big if this takes off. So there you go. All right, questions. Let's take some more here. Wow, you guys are really chatty today. Bryant Mitchell wants to know, that's a good question actually, is the foam padding removable? Yes. So you can pop it out. Looks like it's pretty easy to get out actually. This part comes out easy enough. Oh, there you go. Yep, it pops right out there. So you can, but it looks like it's glued on to the plastic portion. Yeah, it's glued to that, but you can pull it off and clean it. Or you could buy a couple of these so that if you have people coming over in this age of COVID, you don't want them sweating all over your all over your headset. So you could probably get replacement things and just pop them in for every person that plays with it. Mark Dell says also that if you, they're cracking down on throwaway Facebook. I mean, I don't know why they're so crazy about this account thing. I don't get it. So Chris is saying here that the game sizes are going to grow. The Walking Dead on the current model is 9 gigabytes, and after free DLC that's coming in will be 12 gigs. Going from 64 to 256 is worth it for the price, he says. And actually, you know, the higher end version now costs the same as the low end version did last year, right? So there's definitely some advantages to that. So there you go. Well, it looks like Mark learned something. I never knew how to get IPD before. Yeah, that app that on the phone is great. It tells you right away. Chris says that you can. Okay, so I guess you could just kind of coax it in between positions and it'll stay put. And Chris Richardson says the devs are seeing a 10x in sales on the Quest 2 launch, so it's going very well. And you know what's funny too is that, you know, the Quest 1. So the Quest 1 came out in May of 2019? Was it last year or the year before? Whenever it came out in May. I remember that specifically. And the reason why I remembered that so well is that I had laryngitis when it came in and I had to wait like a week and a half to actually do the review. But I think by the summer, the Quest 2 had sold more software in a span of 6 months than the Oculus Rift did in the entire length of its existence. So the Quest 1 was very successful. In fact, you couldn't get them, right? Remember that? It was impossible to get one. This one looks like it's a little more, I think they're more prepared for this launch. So I think that's what's going on there. And I think, yeah, I mean, Mr. Fubin makes a point about the Facebook thing. I think here's the disconnect that I've seen, is that, again, I'm not selling this thing. I'm a fan of VR. You know, consumers look at privacy differently than us techies do. And I'm not saying this is for better or for worse, but, you know, if Facebook saw that there was such a backlash to their system that it would hurt sales, they would not do this. But they clearly see that it doesn't matter to them. They feel it's worth doing. But it's crazy. But yeah, that's it. So I think that's the trade-off. I have a Facebook account. A lot of you are on my Facebook page, you know, if you don't want to do the Facebook thing, the good news is that you can buy headsets that don't require that. One that interests me is the HP headset, which is, you know, designed for PCs, but it's like super high resolution. I think the new HP headset is like the highest res one out there. So, all right, let me see where we're at on updates here. I'll take a peek inside my little window here. Okay, so now I need to pair this with my phone. So this is the Facebook part. So let me get the Oculus app open on my phone. And this is kind of a hard thing to do because I have to load the app up and then look back inside of it. And I've got to, so the other thing I have on my phone is I set it to like offload the apps I'm not using frequently. So Oculus is one of the apps that I'm not using frequently. So I got to wait for it to reinstall here. The good news is I have a very fast internet connection now, so everything just pops up. Okay, so we're going to hit OK here. And let's see what happens when I go to pair this up now. All right, so pair your headset to the Oculus mobile app to continue. Download the Oculus app and pair your headset. You may need to enter the following pairing code. Okay, so I have the headset available here. Now here's a little trick on these. If you put your thumb on this little sensor here, it thinks it's on your head and it won't go back to sleep. So I'm going to hit the, man, this is crazy. So they want to know where I am, you know. Okay, so now, that's the casting button. That's not what I want. How do I add a headset? Because I already have apparently a Quest and a Go paired up with this. I don't have a Rift S though. Maybe I have to, oh, you know what I got to do? I got to update the app because I haven't updated the app. So let's download the app update and then we will get this working. So let me go into my updates of apps. And I'm assuming I'll see Oculus on the list of updates. Yep, there it is. Okay, so we're going to download the latest update, and then this should work. So Bryant Mitchell wants to know, is mixed reality still a thing? Not really, but it is compatible with Steam. So even though it's not as popular, it works with Steam. And actually, this works with Steam too. The weird thing, though, is that you load up into the Oculus interface and then you go into Steam. So you have to like go through one to get to the other, which is kind of odd. And hang on one second, folks, because Jake needs a code. We got in another one of those inexpensive jumper laptops the other day. So Jake is working on that right now. He needs to get into Steam real quick. So let's get him his code, and then I will continue onward. Yeah, so I got a lot of work to do on this because this is one of these really hard products to review because you have to get up out of your chair and run around the room and stuff. Okay, so let me go back to the Oculus app. It should be updated by now. And okay, so now we have, here I'll zoom the camera in a little bit better here. All right, so now we have it detected its presence just by Bluetooth. So I'm going to click on pair. And it's looking for the headset. Okay, so now it's paired. We're done. Okay, so put on your headset to finish device setup. Okay. So let me see if I can start. All right, so now it wants me to create the boundary. And I'm going to come back to this part because I want to see if I can stream this to you. And by the way, these controllers are set. Okay, so the first thing I have to do is confirm floor level. So let me just put these down on the floor here. And this interface so far feels to me exactly like the old one. And I'm just going to do a stationary boundary to start here. Yeah, so far, like obviously the resolution feels much better to me, but it does feel very similar to the original here. I will say though, it's not as sharp as I expected it would be. All right, so let me see if I can get this streaming thing going here. And the good news is it came with a good amount of battery life on it, so that's helpful. And I'm going to do a casting here, and I'm going to cast it to my Chromecast. I've got so many Chromecasts now, I don't even know which one I'm actually going to. And I have two things called Living Room TV, so I'm assuming it's this one. I have to rename this thing. Let's see if I get it up. All right, that is not the right one, because this is my, oops. Oh, it is called Living Room TV. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so this looks much better than the other one. My goodness, like it is night and day from a resolution standpoint. I'm seeing a little bit of tracking issues, but I think it might be the fact that I've got some bright lights down here which throw it off. But it looks much, much better. And I wasn't ever really complaining about the old one, but this one certainly looks better to me. All right, so for some reason, I'm not able to get this to, sorry. Once again, I am not showing you the right thing. So let me go and try to stream this again, because it thinks it's streaming right now, but it doesn't appear to be working. So let me undo that. And I'll stop casting to this one, and let's try the other one. Okay, casting request sent. I'm just waiting for it to pop up on there. I think I may have to reboot that thing. Because it says it's casting, but it's not showing up on the Chromecast there. So let me cycle power to this thing real quick. Yeah, it looks like it just went dead on me. So let's try that again and see if we can get that casting to work. So the resolution on this, because Mr. Food Moon was asking, this is per eye, and I'll give you the resolution again. On this one, it is 1832 by 1920. The HP one, I believe, does 4K to each eye, if I'm not mistaken. And then there's some questions about the link cable. Yeah, so the link cable, here's the thing with the link cable. You don't need the actual link cable from Oculus. I have an Anchor cable that I got, for $10 or whatever, that works just fine. Is this it? This is not it. I have it somewhere in my proximity because I was using it just the other day. So you don't need the expensive link cable, and I would suggest not getting it unless you really want the best. What's good about their link cable is that it's long and it also charges. It's fiber optic, so it's not a bad cable, but it's not the best. Bad review says, wait, so that does not, yeah, so it gives you a cable that would work as a link cable, but as we saw a few minutes ago, when we were unboxing it, the cable is only this long. So this is not gonna cut it. You need something longer. Now the old one came with a longer cable, but it didn't work as a link cable until recently. So this is one of these minimally viable products when they release it, and then it gets better. They keep adding to it as time goes on. So that's kind of what you're experiencing here. Okay, so let's try to get this to cast again. And I've got now, this is the Chromecast. So I'm going to, this is the new Chromecast, by the way. You see how it finds things that I like? It knows I like Star Trek. It knows I like all these things. So I'm going to try now to stream this again. So let's go to Sharing, Cast, and we're going to go to Living Room TV next. And it says it's casting, although I might be going to a different television in the house, which means that my TV upstairs is getting turned on, and that's not what I want right now. So let me see. Yeah, so clearly that Chromecast is not getting what I'm sending to it. So let me go back to casting, and we'll select a different one. I think I have like 2 devices in the house with the same name. All right, there it goes. Nope. Is it going? Great, now I'm going to get hit with a... All right, let me grab my other Chromecast and see if that might make it work better. Sometimes the simpler things are the ones to play with. So I've got this little yellow Chrome. There it is. Let's plug this guy in, and we'll try that. I'm just going to unplug that. Let me power this one on. Bear with me, folks. We will get this working here in a second. All right, so we're going to turn this on, and now I need to get some power to this thing. This is like one of the older Chromecasts, but it tends to work pretty well. And I just got to find the cable that I can use to power it. There's another USB-C. Welcome to my life, everybody. There is cables everywhere. And I just cleaned this place up the other day, but as I was talking about on the last stream, I get so busy that I just go from one project to the next, and I never clean up after myself, and this is what I end up with. So we're going to get this little Chromecast connected, and hopefully this will work better. Yeah, I do have a Fire TV also. I might try that next if this doesn't work. And we're on a bit of a time crunch here because I've got a hard out call coming up in a few minutes. So I want to get as much as I can going initially here, and then we'll go from there. And I just got to find, is this cable long enough to reach? I think it might be. So let me put this in here, and we'll just run it over to the I got this really cool power thing from Kensington that just works wonderfully. I got to show it to you one day. Okay, there we go. So that one's going to boot up. And let me just add it as an input real quick. And just waiting for that to boot up here, and then we can continue. Spark 2, and this is Spark 1. Okay. Don't crash, don't crash, don't crash. Okay, here we go. And we're just waiting for that Chromecast to boot up. Hopefully it will soon. There it goes. All right, so let's try this again. And this is called the yellow Chromecast. And let's see if we can cast to that. Or is it called demo? I can't remember. I've got Chromecasts all over the place. What is it called? It is called, does it even say what it is on there? It doesn't. Let's see. Demo maybe? See, I don't think it's demo because yes, that's not the right one either. I'm just trying to get this so you can see. Oh, this might be it. Hang on. So I want you to see what I see, but I'm just getting nothing right now. So as a last resort, I could stream to the phone. That might work also. Actually, it looks like that. Yeah, so that seems to be working. Let's try it again. Huh. I wonder if we're getting an HDCP issue there. Let me try one other thing. That could be what's going on, because the second I disconnect it, I think it comes back. So let's try. I have a lot of handy-dandy little devices, and sometimes they have this HDCP protection, which is crazy when you think about the fact that they are encouraging you to stream, but if there's HDCP issues, you can't do it. But this will hopefully alleviate that, because I typically see that when you've got an HDCP issue. So let's see if this works better. And that could be why it wasn't working before on the other one either. Okay, so now let us try this again. And if this works, then it's definitely an HDCP issue. Okay. So go to Cast, and we'll say Studio TV next. And does that work? No, it's still black. Huh. All right, maybe we'll do the phone. Yeah, let's just do the phone. All right, so let me put the phone on Do Not Disturb, and then we'll go to Oculus, and I'm almost out of time. I just want you to see it. It'd be great for you to see it. Cast from the Quest to this phone, casting. Oops, start. All right, I think we're going to get something now. Try again. Here we go. You know, it's still dark on here too. Huh. See? Yeah, I did set up the boundary, everybody. It's just not, this is not casting yet. So I tried the phone, I get nothing. And I tried the Chromecasting, still just getting blanks here. So let me, it won't cast if you're outside your boundary. Okay, so let me try. So I did set up the stationary boundary. So maybe I'll set up the boundary again and see if that makes a difference. Because now I'm definitely within my boundary here because it's stationary. And I'm still not getting anything on the phone. So let me go in and, you see how this stuff never works right? So let me set up a boundary real quick again and see if it can, I'm going to stay right in my position here. Okay, look around to ensure if there's obstacles, include anything. Da, da, da. Okay, so now I am definitely within my boundary, and I got nothing. It says it's casting, but it's just not. Oh, you know what it says here? It says the developer has disabled. This is like, I'm just on the home screen here. It says it's disabled casting for this app. Cast demo. Oops, that's the wrong one. Hang on. Yeah, it says the developer has disabled casting for this app, which is what, so it says it's casting, but it isn't actually casting anything. All right, so let me grab something and just put it on here and see if it, so I do have apps that I purchased before. So I'm going to grab the Star Wars game that I have purchased previously. So I go to, oops, go to the store, and let's go to featured. Yes, I'm sorry I'm not able to show you anything. But I'll give you my experiences so far. I mean, honestly, it is much clearer. I mean, it looks nicer. It does feel more responsive, so it's got that going for it. Even like the store, when you pull up the store, it's quicker. Let me reboot this thing and see if maybe that... yeah, it's just not working. And the headset is, like the padding on the headset is so much better than it was before. Now what I'm trying to do is find the list of apps that I purchased previously, because I have a couple of them on here. So I'm in the store. I see some National Geographic stuff. So I guess there's a new Star Wars game coming out too. Add it to my wish list. Okay, so let's go back to here. Top charts, browse all, categories, wish list. It's funny, they don't want you like downloading the things you already have because they want you to get new stuff. Oh, okay, I'm seeing it now. Okay, so these are the things that I have. So let's go over to Vader Immortal. So I'll grab that real quick. Yeah, so Vader Immortal is like 2.79 gigabytes, and that's just episode 1. So that game, if they're each about 3 gigs apiece, you know, there's 9 gigs there. But most of these are not going to take advantage of the new hardware. Now I'm going to enable hands. There it goes. So it's detected my hands. I'll show this to you in a minute. It works really well. And it feels even more responsive now than it did before. And so what I'm doing now is just adjusting, you know, it's giving me some training on how to work the interface. So I'm able to move things around by pinching. And what I'm seeing in front of me are my hands projected. And if I push the Oculus button, there it goes. Cool. So they're kind of giving me a demo of how to do everything. Very cool. Okay, so let's see if I can cast this now. See, it says it's casting. I wonder if I'm casting to the wrong TV. So I'll stop to that one. Let's go back to... yeah, so it's just going black still. I don't know what the deal is. So let me see if I can get, if that game is downloaded yet. Yeah, it's still downloading. All right, this one's called First Steps. And let's see if this one starts showing you anything. Again, right now the Chromecast is just dark. But it is loading right now. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, so the, again, the display quality is significantly better. Yeah, I'm not getting anything. Let's try this one more time here. Let me reboot this and see if maybe that might impact it better. You know what's cool too about this? It's got like, especially the VR stuff, it's got a real like Disney World vibe to it. This game especially, this is like their intro that kind of give you a feel for the interface and how VR works. But yeah, this is super comfortable. I still feel weight on my head. You know, it's lighter than the last one, but it's still, you can still feel it. But the padding is so much better. Because I used to feel like on my forehead and in between, like I would feel pressure, and I'm not feeling that now.
It's time to learn about your Oculus Touch controllers.
All right, let's see if I can get this to work here.
Next, use your index fingers to squeeze the triggers on your controllers.
That's not it. This one's called... Bear with me for one more second. Let's see if we can get this to work here. There it goes. Okay, so it is showing me now. Okay. So I think you can see this now. Yep, you can. Okay, so use your index fingers to squeeze the triggers on your controllers. Okay, I did that. I gotta get out of the menu. There we go. And the buttons are capacitive. I don't know if you can see this, but as I rest my fingers on different things, it can feel that my finger's resting there. So I'm not touching the button, but it feels that my finger is on it.
Locate the grip buttons and squeeze them with your middle fingers. Now let's see what your virtual hands can do.
And there's some haptic feedback on the controllers.
To make a fist, squeeze the grip with your middle finger and hold it down. To point, keep squeezing the grip and just lift your index finger. Now use your index finger to push the button in front of you. To pick up an object, squeeze and hold the grip button with your middle finger. Release the grip button to drop it. Your virtual hands can do just about anything. Go ahead, play with some of these items. Looks like you're getting the hang of it. Here's a few more to try.
Pretty cool. What's funny is you soon feel like this platform is on top of you, and you feel like you can just leave things on it. It gets really immersive very quickly. The physics kind of feels heavy here. See how fast it drops? Pretty cool. Pretty neat. Hopefully you're still seeing all that, yeah. Now I wonder if I can put these down and just use my hands. I don't think it detects the hands in this one. That's fun.
When you're ready to explore some new VR worlds, insert a cartridge into the console.
All right, so let's check that out. Hopefully you're still all seeing this. I think you are. Actually, you know what I'm going to do real quick? I'm going to put myself on here so you can see what I'm doing. So bear with me for 1 second. Just so I can put myself in the corner so you can kind of get a feel for what this looks like. And let's go and position me. Hang on 1 second, folks. Zoom me out down here. I'll throw myself down in the corner. I didn't get the green screen set up like I did last time, so oops, wrong one. Oops, whoa, I'm all stretched out. So let me zoom back out again. Hang on. I'm just going to crop this a little bit. Okay, there we go. This will give you a better feel for everything. Okay. And I'm not walking around yet, so when I do the full review, we'll do a little bit more with it. All right, so we'll hit this button here. Oh. So you got to hold on to the. There we go. Yeah, this is the same. Like you can play this on the other one. This is like the little tutorial app that it comes with, but it looks so much better. Like even though this is not running at the new native resolution, the display just looks better, and it's it's upscaling to the higher res. So it looks really nice. And it feels more responsive, although I think we're still running at the 75 hertz refresh rate. And the other thing is that, and for those of you who've never tried VR before, what's hard to convey in a video like this is the fact that the world is in 3D around you. So this is not like looking at a screen. It's actually quite immersive. And in a game like this, where it's in a darker environment, the lack of a wide peripheral vision is not as noticeable. It's when you have the You can do 2 guns here too. Oops. It's when you have like the brighter environments where you notice it more. I just wish it was easier to mirror the screen. I could do it through that ADB connection, I guess. So I'll have to experiment with that again. I went through all this before with the other one. So I definitely need to be able to capture all that footage. And it's going to be kind of like the same review as the first one because this one is not any different right now. I mean, it's better in the sense the hardware is better, but the feature set that it can offer as far as resolution and frame rates concerned is not yet here. So in many ways, this is going to be kind of a repeat of the original, at least for now. I might just work in the footage from the original because I think it's still very much the same experience. I think that's maybe what I'll do here. This is going to be something we're going to come back to. And I got to do some research on what's available on the, for the higher res stuff. Because I think there are a few things that support the higher resolution, but not many. So I'll have to play with that. What's this thing do? Different gun. Let's see what's a big gun. Oh. Yeah. Grab a second. I see. Look at that. That's cool. I like how it rotates on its base there. And this is one of the freebie games that it comes with. Pretty neat. All right, cool. So that's that game. So if I hit this button here and quit, you're not going to see it anymore. It drops. It doesn't. Oh, it does cast it now. So that's weird. So it wasn't casting this before. So this is like the main menu that you see when you're logged in, and you can kind of get at all your stuff. Of course, they want you to buy stuff, so that's where you're going to see a lot of things. And you've got friends here on the side. I'm guessing they also have Oculus headsets. Pretty neat. Yeah. So there you go. So what did you think of that? So the Oculus Developer Hub on the PC. I'm going to grab that from Eric here. I got to run in a minute because I got to get on my call. But yes, let me give you my initial impressions here. And I've got more work to do on this, of course. But I will say that and let me take a few other questions here. So Chris Richardson said the resolution is there now. Okay, good. So I got to check with that. It's just the 90 hertz is not yet working. Mark Dell says you can turn on the 90 hertz developer settings now, although I guess not every app is going to function well with it. So that's that. And you still will get your red marks on your face. See that? So you got that. Gorman wants to know, does it have AAA games such as Resident Evil? If it doesn't have it natively, you will be able to do it on the PC. And here's what I found is that developers are making more. So if you want to make money as a VR developer, you put the game on the Quest because this is selling titles right now versus the other stuff. So I'm guessing we're going to see more of that. Eric Hartley here says Red Matter, Arizona Sunshine, The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners, Gravity Lab, Waltz of the Wizard are all games that have been updated. Okay, so there are some that have been updated, so I'll check those out and see. And Chris here says that everything is in a higher resolution. It's streaming that needs to be adjusted to super sample to get you the sharp display. So there you go. Yeah, so I will say that if you've been on the fence on a VR headset, this one I think is probably going to be the one to get. And again, I'm just in the early goings with it, but I have a very positive experience and impression of the original Quest. In fact, I thought it was probably one of the most intriguing products of last year because it had so much depth to it. It was it started as one thing and became many other things, right? So when I got it, it was a great standalone headset and it worked really nicely. But then it became a PC headset, and then it became a hands-free, no controller headset. You could use your hands with it, and this does all the same things, but you have a higher resolution. And I will say the comfort level, just in the first 20 minutes here with it, or half hour, the comfort level is much better with this one versus the old one. And so the other one, because you saw how my forehead was a little bit red here, I would feel a lot of pressure on my head and then a lot of heat from just the exhaust on it, on my head as well. This, I'm not feeling that right now. I would have felt that already on the other one. So it's much better from a comfort standpoint. I'm really, and I think part of it's just the padding here is really, really decent. So that's good. Yes, so you know what we should do, Mark Dell, because Smoke Monster's been getting into the X-Wing thing, and I know Eric Bazinga's been eager to do something. I would love to do like a Star Wars Rogue Squadron live stream event. That'd be kind of fun, because I've been having some fun with that game. So that would be good to do, for sure. And here's a good point on, so Chris Richardson said I need to try out virtual desktops. I'm going to definitely add that to my list. Yeah, because, you know, I'm trying to figure out, like, what can I'm not trying to be lazy, but from a production standpoint, do I need to go back through, because it looks like the setup and the, you know, a lot of the stuff that you do to set it up that I talked about in the first review is still the same here. That hasn't changed. So I think I might want to focus more on what this product is and kind of use some of my older stuff and then show some of the newer things you can do with it. So we'll have to check that out. Now, the other successful VR platform is the PlayStation VR. And when you think about like who's been funding development of VR titles, it's been Sony and Oculus. And I think Oculus may have the better model because people are really buying this, right? I mean, this thing is for this platform it seems to be working. And here's what it is too, because I get calls, and I will get these calls again this year from friends and family saying, hey, I want to get into VR, what should I get? And prior to that, well, you got to get a PC, you've got to get it spec'd out in this fashion, and you need the headset, and then you got to get so like there's this componentized thing that you have to get going with first before you can even get started. And then you got to have the computer set up, you got to have everything optimized. This thing, you buy it, take it out of the box. And so when I tried the first Quest, it was amazing that something running on a mobile phone Snapdragon processor was delivering especially the Star Wars game. The VR performance out of the Star Wars game was remarkable. On something that just was running standalone, it was really, really, really good. And so then when they added on the PC stuff, even better. So you can buy this, $300, you got VR, and it's good VR. It's not lousy. Even the other one was good. So this one's better because it's got higher resolution, much more comfortable. So that's it. That's the thing I noticed immediately is the comfort, then the resolution. Zam is actually watching this in VR right now. How about that? Very cool. So yeah, so I'm going to have to do some more on this, and I am out of time, so I got to get on my call. It's been a very busy week, and it's going to get busier. So that's that. And Chris says, yeah, they got paid big Sony dollars. Yeah, Sony's been paying for a lot of this stuff. And so I think when you look at market share, it's Sony and Oculus are up there. And the Sony solution worked also. Why? Because the PlayStation is its platform. There's no, yes, you have to buy the PlayStation and the PSVR, but there's no variability to what you need. You buy those two things, you've got VR. Here, you buy this one thing, you get VR. So that's what that is. Mark says, look at EMU VR. Yeah, is that the Nintendo thing? Because we did a stream on that recently too. That was pretty cool. Zobros, thank you. I love you too. It's very nice of you to say. So there you go. All right, I've got a lot more work. Thank you, Chris. I've got a lot more work to do on this because I've got to really figure out what I want to do for this. Nick MG says his son is desperate for a VR headset. I think this one is going to be the one to get. This is going to sell well this holiday. I hope they make enough of them. It's similar to the old one, but it's more comfortable. I think they hit the right price point. You know, it's $100 less to start now than it was before. So we'll see. Quero is asking, can you play old games like Quake, Doom, Heretic? I don't know if somebody did that, has made those in there. You should check that out. Ryan Plumley says that big screen supports a Plex server if you turn on DLNA. And actually, I think Plex has a, if I'm not mistaken, they have a VR. I know they have it on, it was on the Go, and it was on Google, maybe it was just Google Daydream that had it. I'm pretty, maybe there is Plex on this. I thought there was. I'll have to double check on that. BB Tababa says that Snapdragon, they have a Snapdragon Chromebook. I got to look for that. Oh, that's right. Okay, so Mark Dell was, you're right, you have like a 90s bedroom where you can play the games. That's right. That's right. Good stuff. And Gorman says, great stream, it's been fun. Yes, it has been fun. And I am sorry that I can't be on longer. How long have we been going for? This has been like an hour already, huh? Yeah, we've been going for about an hour and 10 minutes. So yeah, I'll come back on this. Maybe I'll come back when I'm shooting the video, because I definitely have more to play around with on here. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, thanks everybody. Glad you enjoyed it. And I've got some more work to do. This is one of these hard products to review, because typically I get a laptop in. Here's the laptop. We can type on it. This thing, the VR is such a personalized experience, and it's hard to share that. And the challenge that I have with this thing is that I can do what I did a few minutes ago, which is show you the game I was playing. But it's harder to get the other interface elements to stream out via the casting method. So for example, when you're setting the Guardian and that sort of thing. So I might just use the B-roll from my prior headset, because I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure the interface is the same on this new one. So that's what I'll figure out. Mark's he's got a headset on. He's trying to, yeah, he's playing hooky at work, everybody. Don't do that. I can't do that on my call because there's only 3 of us on it. So there you go. All right, everybody, I got to get out of here. I will be back again soon, and we'll probably do a part 2 on this stream as I get more acquainted with this and some of the things to look at. Because we got to look at what's new about it, why somebody may want to upgrade to it, why it might be good as a first-time purchase versus the old one. All those kinds of questions we need to answer. So that's what we'll do. All right, everybody, I will be back shortly. Maybe not today, but maybe tomorrow or the weekend. So stay tuned. Talk to you in a little bit. And thank you all for tuning in, and we'll do this again very soon. Bye-bye.